The question sounds almost too simple. If your kidneys work around the clock to keep you alive, why do so many people unknowingly make that job harder just before they go to bed? Most conversations about kidney health begin with a list of restrictions. Cut back on salt, watch your potassium, avoid processed food. While those recommendations can be important, they leave out something just as valuable. Your kidneys aren't only protected by what you avoid, they're also influenced by what you choose to eat. And the final meal or snack of the day may play a bigger role than many people realize. While you're asleep, your body doesn't shut down. In many ways, it switches into maintenance mode. Your kidneys continue filtering blood, balancing minerals, regulating fluid levels, and clearing waste products that accumulated throughout the day. That work never stops. Yet the foods eaten in the evening can either support those natural processes or make them more challenging. For people over 60, when kidney function naturally changes with age, those nightly choices may become even more meaningful. One of the biggest misconceptions about kidney-friendly eating is that fruit becomes the enemy. Many people hear that certain fruits contain potassium and immediately decide to eliminate fruit altogether. It's an understandable reaction, especially after hearing warnings about kidney disease. But nutrition is rarely that simple. While some fruits are naturally high in potassium and may need to be limited by people with advanced kidney disease, many others provide vitamins, antioxidants, fiber, and protective plant compounds without creating the same nutritional burden. The goal isn't fear. The goal is choosing wisely. That balance matters because the kidneys face two challenges at the same time. On one hand, they benefit from nutrients that help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress. On the other, damaged kidneys may struggle to remove excess minerals, particularly potassium, from the bloodstream. Finding foods that deliver protective nutrients while remaining kidney-friendly is where smart nutrition begins, and several common fruits fit that description surprisingly well. Now, let quotes start with a fruit that seems almost designed for the evening: tart cherries. That most people associate cherries with desserts or summer snacks. But tart cherries are very different from the sweet varieties commonly found in grocery stores. They naturally contain plant compounds that have attracted attention because of their relationship with healthy sleep patterns. Sleep may seem unrelated to kidney health at first, yet the connection is stronger than many realize. Healthy kidneys benefit when blood pressure follows its normal daily rhythm. During restful sleep, blood pressure usually falls slightly, giving blood vessels, including the tiny filtering units inside the kidneys, a chance to recover. Poor sleep can interfere with that nightly drop, placing additional strain on delicate kidney tissue over time. Tart cherries contain naturally occurring compounds, including small amounts of phytomelatonin and antioxidant polyphenols, that researchers have studied for their potential role in supporting sleep quality. While they aren't sleeping pills and shouldn't be viewed as a treatment for insomnia, they represent one example of how food can complement the body's normal nighttime biology. Just as importantly, tart cherries are considered a lower potassium fruit compared with many other popular options. That makes them an attractive choice for people who need to pay attention to potassium intake while still wanting antioxidant-rich foods. The next fruit may already be sitting in your refrigerator. Blueberries have earned their reputation as one of nature's richest sources of antioxidants. Their deep blue color comes from anthocyanins, natural pigments that scientists continue studying for their effects on inflammation and oxidative stress. Those processes matter because chronic inflammation doesn't only affect the kidneys. It also contributes to cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and many other conditions that frequently occur alongside kidney disease. For older adults especially, protecting heart health and kidney health often means addressing the same underlying biological stress. Blueberries provide vitamin C, fiber, and protective plant compounds, while remaining relatively low in potassium compared with fruits like bananas or oranges. That combination makes them one of the easiest fruits to include as part of a kidney-conscious eating pattern. The beauty of blueberries is also their convenience. Fresh, frozen, and even freeze-dried versions retain much of the nutritional value. No expensive supplements, no complicated recipes. Just a handful added to an evening snack can contribute meaningful nutrition. Another fruit that deserves far more attention is the strawberry. Despite their sweet taste, strawberries are surprisingly low in potassium, while supplying vitamin C, fiber, folate, and a wide range of antioxidant compounds. Researchers continue investigating how these antioxidants help reduce oxidative damage inside the body. Although no fruit can stop kidney disease by itself, reducing oxidative stress is considered an important part of protecting overall health. Strawberries also work well because they satisfy a craving for something sweet without relying on processed desserts loaded with added sugar. Many packaged nighttime snacks create sharp spikes in blood glucose, followed by equally rapid drops. Whole fruit behaves differently because its natural fiber slows digestion and promotes steadier blood sugar responses. That becomes increasingly important for people living with diabetes, one of the leading causes of chronic kidney disease worldwide. Choosing strawberries instead of highly processed sweets may seem like a small decision, yet those small decisions repeated every evening often matter far more than dramatic dietary changes that last only a few days. The fourth fruit is perhaps the most underestimated of them all. Apples rarely appear on lists of trendy superfoods. They aren't exotic, expensive, or heavily marketed, but sometimes the most familiar foods quietly provide remarkable benefits. An apple delivers soluble fiber, particularly pectin, along with vitamin C and numerous antioxidants concentrated in the peel. Removing the peel means removing much of what makes the fruit valuable. Fiber helps support healthy digestion while also slowing glucose absorption, contributing to steadier overnight blood sugar levels. For kidney health, stable blood sugar matters because elevated glucose over many years damages tiny blood vessels throughout the body, including those inside the kidneys themselves. Managing blood sugar isn't only about diabetes treatment, it's also about protecting organs from unnecessary stress. Apples also contain organic acids that contribute to a healthier urinary environment. While they aren't a treatment for kidney stones, dietary patterns that include whole fruits instead of sugary beverages generally support better urinary health overall. Notice a pattern beginning to emerge? None of these fruits is being described as a miracle cure. None promises to reverse kidney disease overnight. Instead, each contributes a different piece to a much larger picture. Better nutrition, reduced inflammation, healthier blood sugar control, improved sleep quality, and consistent antioxidant intake. That is how real preventive nutrition works. Not through one magical ingredient, but through dozens of small biological advantages accumulating over months and years. Unfortunately, many people searching for kidney advice online encounter exaggerated promises instead. One video claims a single fruit will clean your kidneys overnight. Another insists a certain juice flushes toxins instantly. Human biology simply doesn't work that way. Your kidneys already know how to remove waste. Their job isn't waiting for a miracle food to activate them. The real goal is supporting those organs by reducing unnecessary stress while providing the nutrients they need to function normally. And that brings us to another fruit many people overlook entirely: grapes, which may be even more interesting than most realize. Grapes often surprise people because they don't usually appear in conversations about kidney health. They're associated with lunchboxes, fruit salads, or perhaps a glass of wine, not with protecting one of the body's most important filtering organs. Yet, when researchers began looking more closely at the colorful compounds found in red and purple grapes, they discovered something worth paying attention to. These fruits contain polyphenols, including resveratrol and flavonoids, which have been studied for their antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Those compounds don't magically heal damaged kidneys, but they do contribute to a healthier internal environment where blood vessels and tissues experience less oxidative stress. That matters because kidney disease rarely exists by itself. The same people who develop declining kidney function often face high blood pressure, diabetes, or cardiovascular disease. These conditions share common biological pathways involving chronic inflammation and damage to blood vessels. Supporting one system frequently benefits another. Grapes fit into that larger picture because they provide protective plant nutrients while remaining a lower potassium choice than many tropical fruits. There is also a surprisingly practical reason grapes can work well as an evening snack. People who have been advised to limit fluids sometimes struggle with thirst late at night. Freezing grapes creates a slow-to-eat snack that feels refreshing without requiring a large glass of liquid. It's a simple idea, but sometimes the most sustainable habits are also the easiest to follow. The sixth fruit deserves attention for an entirely different reason. Raspberries may look delicate, but nutritionally they are remarkably powerful. One small serving delivers an impressive amount of dietary fiber compared with many other fruits. Fiber is usually discussed in relation to digestion, but researchers are increasingly recognizing another important connection: the relationship between the gut and the kidneys. Inside the digestive system lives an enormous community of bacteria known as the gut microbiome. These microorganisms help break down certain foods, produce beneficial compounds, and influence inflammation throughout the body. When people consistently eat enough fiber, those beneficial bacteria thrive. In return, they produce substances that may help reduce systemic inflammation, something that is particularly valuable for individuals living with chronic diseases. Kidney researchers have become increasingly interested in what is sometimes called the gut-kidney axis. Although this field is still developing, it's becoming clear that digestive health and kidney health are more closely connected than previously believed. That doesn't mean raspberries are medicine. It means regularly eating fiber-rich foods may support several body systems at the same time. Raspberries also slow the absorption of nutrients eaten alongside them, helping create steadier digestion after dinner. Instead of overwhelming the body with rapidly absorbed carbohydrates, fiber encourages a slower, more balanced process that many organs, including the kidneys, benefit from indirectly. Now let's move to a fruit that often raises eyebrows whenever kidney nutrition is discussed. Pineapple seems like an unlikely choice. It's tropical, naturally sweet, and slightly acidic, qualities many people assume automatically make it unsuitable for kidney health. In reality, fresh pineapple contains less potassium than many other tropical fruits, making it an option that often fits within kidney-conscious eating plans. What makes pineapple particularly interesting isn't simply its vitamin content. It's an enzyme called bromelain. Scientists have studied bromelain because of its potential anti-inflammatory effects, although much remains under investigation. While no responsible health professional would claim that eating pineapple treats kidney disease, choosing foods naturally rich in anti-inflammatory compounds may contribute to an overall dietary pattern that supports healthier aging. Fresh pineapple also contains naturally occurring compounds related to serotonin and melatonin production. Again, this shouldn't be exaggerated into claims that pineapple makes people fall asleep instantly. Biology is rarely that simple. But evening meals built around whole foods rather than heavily processed snacks often support healthier sleep patterns. And healthy sleep benefits nearly every organ in the body, including the kidneys. Then we arrive at perhaps the most misunderstood fruit on the entire list. For decades, cranberries have been associated with urinary tract health. Walk through any pharmacy and you'll find cranberry juices, capsules, powders, and concentrates promising urinary support. Yet much of the public understanding is incomplete. Research suggests cranberry compounds may help reduce the likelihood of recurrent urinary tract infections in certain individuals by making it more difficult for bacteria to attach to the bladder wall. That doesn't mean cranberries cure infections. They do not replace antibiotics, nor should someone experiencing fever, pain, or symptoms of a kidney infection attempt to self-treat with cranberry juice. The second misunderstanding is even more common. Many cranberry products sold in supermarkets contain enormous amounts of added sugar. Ironically, people purchase them believing they're protecting their kidneys while unknowingly consuming beverages that contribute to poor metabolic health. The beneficial compounds come from the cranberries themselves, not from sugar-filled juice cocktails. If cranberries are included as part of a healthy eating pattern, choosing unsweetened products or whole berries provides a much better nutritional profile. People taking blood-thinning medications should also discuss regular cranberry consumption with their healthcare provider, because potential interactions remain an area of ongoing discussion. By now, a much larger lesson should be becoming clear. Notice that none of these fruits works through exactly the same mechanism. Tart cherries support healthy sleep patterns and provide antioxidant compounds. Blueberries contribute anthocyanins. Strawberries supply vitamin C and protective polyphenols. Apples provide soluble fiber. Grapes offer flavonoids and resveratrol. Raspberries nourish the gut microbiome. Pineapple contributes bromelain. Cranberries support urinary tract health in specific situations. Each fruit offers something different. Together, they create a nutritional pattern far more powerful than relying on any single superfood. This is one of the biggest mistakes made in modern nutrition. People search for one miracle ingredient that solves every problem. Human biology doesn't reward that approach. The body thrives on variety because every nutrient performs a different job. Another important point often gets ignored in conversations about kidney-friendly eating. Portion size still matters. Even foods considered kidney-friendly should fit within an individual's overall medical condition, laboratory results, and dietary recommendations. Someone with early-stage kidney disease may tolerate foods very differently from someone receiving dialysis. Personalization always matters more than internet headlines. That's why regular medical monitoring remains essential. Kidney function isn't something you can judge by how you feel. Many people lose a significant amount of kidney function before obvious symptoms appear. Routine blood work measuring creatinine, estimated glomerular filtration rate, and electrolyte levels provides a far clearer picture than guesswork ever can. Nutrition works best when it's guided by knowledge rather than fear. Instead of asking, which foods must I eliminate forever, a better question becomes, which foods allow me to nourish my body while respecting my kidney's current needs? That shift in thinking changes everything. Healthy eating no longer feels like endless restriction. It becomes a process of choosing foods that actively support long-term health. Imagine replacing processed cookies with blueberries, replacing sugary desserts with strawberries, swapping candy for an apple, adding tart cherries to an evening routine, choosing frozen grapes instead of another processed snack. These changes don't feel dramatic on a single night, but repeat them hundreds of times over months and years, and they become part of a lifestyle that supports healthier aging. One more reminder is worth emphasizing. Fruit alone cannot overcome uncontrolled diabetes, severe hypertension, smoking, inactivity, dehydration, or untreated kidney disease. Nutrition is one important piece of a much larger puzzle. Physical activity, adequate sleep, blood pressure control, medication adherence, and regular medical follow-up all contribute to protecting kidney function. If you've been avoiding every fruit because someone told you that all fruit is dangerous for the kidneys, it may be time to rethink that assumption. The evidence paints a much more balanced picture. The goal isn't eliminating fruit, it's selecting the right fruits in appropriate portions for your individual health needs. Your kidneys perform millions of microscopic filtration tasks every minute of every day without asking for recognition. They quietly regulate fluids, balance minerals, control blood pressure, activate vitamin D, and remove waste products that would otherwise become toxic. Most of us never notice this extraordinary work until something begins to go wrong. Perhaps the greatest gift you can give those hardworking organs isn't another expensive supplement or another viral health trend. It may simply be a consistent pattern of nourishing choices repeated day after day. A small bowl of tart cherries before bed, a handful of blueberries, fresh strawberries, an apple with the peel, red grapes, fiber-rich raspberries, fresh pineapple, unsweetened cranberries when appropriate. None of these foods promises miracles. Together, however, They represent something much more valuable, a sustainable strategy built on real nutrition instead of exaggerated claims. Because lasting kidney health rarely comes from chasing the newest miracle. More often, it comes from making ordinary choices consistently enough that your body quietly thanks you for them every single night.